Hey, what's up guys? My name is Konasumi and welcome to my Ridge Racer Type 4 submission. Before I explain the game, I want to introduce you to this controller here. This is called the Ultra Racer by Interact. And in a bit you'll see why I'm using it. You turn the dial of the steer and there's a handle on the back here that you use as your gas and brake pedal. It's a weird controller to say the least, but it helps your times exponentially in this game. And you cannot run without it, pretty much. So let's go ahead and begin our run here. Time begins in 3, 2, 1, go. So as you'll see here, I'll be spamming the start button here. We have a bit of dialogue to get through. We're selecting our racing team and our car. The racing team that you select actually has a pretty big impact on how fast the cars go. So you always want to select the second option there. We're going with manual transmission, as it offers the most control. And we'll be beginning our race here pretty shortly. I also use this button here to upshift, this one to downshift, so you'll see me reaching up here from time to time. Gonna get in front of him, this car here, to do a boost ride. This is a glitch we do at the start of almost every race to get ahead of our opponent car very quickly and get some extra speed there. This is the 4th installment of the Ridge Racer series, and is known among many to be the best Ridge Racer. It doesn't feature any of the auto-drifting shenanigans that happen with the later entries in this series. It's definitely the most respected out of all the Ridge Racer games. And for good reason too. I love Ridge Racer 4. It's my favorite Ridge Racer game personally. Quickly going into second place at the end of the first lap here. Gonna get past the lead car. A common theme you'll see as I play R4 is that I'll be lapping a lot of my opponents. Just something you have to react accordingly to. All the opponent's cars are on a set cycle, so depending on how fast you go, they'll be in different spots. And there are times in the run where if you go slower than usual, you will face some extra time loss because of a bad car cycle, who happens just to be in the way of where you want to be. So the Ultra Racer pretty much allows for a greater turning radius on the cars, which equates to increased handling overall. The reason that is because when Namco made this game, they had a controller called the Nijicon controller, which is a controller where you twist the handles a bit to turn the car. And this controller has the same technology in it, but it's a lot cheaper to purchase. So if you use a DualShock 2, you won't be able to turn as good as if you use one of these controllers. And it saves about 30 or so seconds overall over the course of the run, which is pretty crazy. Alright, that was time for the first track there. We're going through the Grand Prix mode, so we're going to be doing a bunch of races here. And after a certain number of races, we're going to unlock our next car, which is a lot faster than the one we currently have. Gonna be racing on Wonder Hill here. Gonna go for the boost ride once more. Right, here we go. Oh, wait, can I stay in front? Oh, no. That's not optimal, because I hit the wall there, but, Oh, what happened to my controller, dude? My controller isn't working. There we go. Not sure what happened there, but we can recover pretty easily. I don't think the cycles are going to be that bad for me here. You'll see here on the scenery track, there's some Namco characters like Kelowna, Pac-Man. And on a later track, you'll see a statue, Pac-Man. Unfortunately, it's one of the shorter tracks, so we won't be able to appreciate Pac-Man as much as we would all like to appreciate him. Alright, just gotta get past this guy. He's on the same team as us. He's giving us a bit troubles here. Going into third place here. For this mode, you have to finish in first place all the time if you want to unlock the cars that you need. If you get second or third, it's not going to work out for you that well. Alright, entering our second lap here. Yeah, those mistakes cost me quite a bit of time, but everything will be fine. Nothing to worry about. This corner here is always pretty tricky. It's like a 90-degree bend. Gotta know just the right time. Just the right time to brake for that, or else you're going right into the wall. Losing a bunch of speed. But now we're in first place, and now we can just stroll over to the finish. With no repercussions. Yeah, boost riding, the technique that I do at the start of every race can be done at almost every race. Once we get into faster cars, we're not going to need it as much. But it's still a great tactic for these slower cars here. Get a lot of acceleration in a very short amount of time. It also helps prepare your AI cycles. You won't have to deal with as many traffic cars as you probably would if you didn't use the boost ride. And that was that. Wonder Hill is complete. And we're going to unlock our first car here, which is a tricycle. Nicknamed a tricycle. Yeah, this car here, pretty funky. It's a bit faster than the ones we have now. Alright, nice. Sometimes that menu can take a bit longer than it did there, for unknown reasons. Doesn't lose too much time, it's not really a big deal, but whenever you're grinding out that PB, it can be annoying to lose a couple seconds randomly at times. Car also has an extra gear, as the previous only had 4. Oh, that was a really bad hit. I overreacted trying to get on the boost ride. Sneaking in on the inside there. I think that was a pretty clean overtake too. Alright, gonna hug the inside a bit here. Get past this car here. This corner here is also a weird one. It looks like you can take it at full throttle, but you have to let off a bit or else you're going right into the wall. It might be possible to take it at full throttle, but man, for that to work, you would have to work out a pretty small window. Wouldn't be much room for error at all. Okay, 105, that's not too bad, considering the mistake I made at the start. Only maybe 1 or 2 seconds lost over an average time at this course. I also find that the Ultra Racer allows me to have a bit more precision than the DualShock 2, even when using the analog sticks. Able to make a bit more, set more precise angles on this dial than I would on a thumbstick. This controller works with many PlayStation racing games, but not all of them. This game also works with the Gran Turismo series of games. Works with Initial D for the PS1, Side by Side, and also worked with a couple PS2 games, including Ridge Racer 5, the direct sequel to Ridge Racer Type 4. Alright, entering the third lap here. This will be a good time for donations if you have any. Not too much going on here that we haven't already seen. One downside to the Ultra Racer is that, man, it's just uncomfortable to hold. Even now, my hand is beginning to cramp just from using it. The Negcon, on the other hand, is a very comfortable controller, but it's also a bit more expensive than the Ultra Racer, and you have to buy it from Japan. Alright, so that marks the end of this track here, and now we can move on. We have one more race with this car before we unlock a Formula 1X car, which is extremely fun to drive, to say the least. Yeah, this controller is really big. It's pretty funky. That trick is pretty time-based. Alright, cool, I got the boost ride. But yeah, by shifting up at a specific point, you will not stall the car. And you can use 5th gear to its full effect right off the start. Pretty funny. One thing that I do praise R4 for is its visuals. For a PlayStation game, it looks very, very nice. The scenery is complex and vibrant. The cars have distinct sounds. But yeah, the music glitching out like that is not part of the game itself. My disc is a bit scratched, which causes the music to glitch out at some points. But yeah, this is my favorite track. It's so much fun. There's so many tight curves that you have to go around. And the Ultra Racer helps significantly with that because of the increased handling. And that goes for a lot of the courses in the game. Going from the DualShock to the Ultra Racer was such a huge jump. Definitely helped make this game more fun. Was able to shave off many seconds off of my lap times. That 90-degree corner that I just went through is pretty notorious for killing runs. You don't have a lot of time to react to it. And if you hit the wall, you lose so much speed. This game is so unforgiving in that regard. If you just breathe on a wall, you will lose a lot of your speed, and it'll take a long time to gain it all back. Alright. Entering lap 3. 103, a low 103 is a really good time for this track. I've gotten 102s before. I believe the best I've ever done was possibly a mid 102, if I recall correctly. That best lap time is never accurate. I don't have a memory card in. It automatically defaults to whenever, to like a preset lap time the developers give you. Ah, that's unfortunate. I couldn't quite get the drift I needed because wasn't carrying enough speed in that corner. That's alright though, not losing that much time. And I won't have any cycles to deal with either. Let's car coming up here should be in a good spot. Alright, let's finish up the track. Yeah, this is fine. Still in first place. It's always fairly easy to get first place in this game, as long as you do a boost ride and do fairly well on the course here. So now we've unlocked the Formula 1 car I was talking about earlier. And now we're gonna go race it on a really small track. It seems like it'll be a bit anticlimactic, but trust me, this is very fun. This is one of my favorite tracks in the game, same with the previous one. This car also carries an additional gear, so we have a total of 6 gears. And the next one we unlock has 7. Oh, I barely got the wall there. That's alright though, I can probably get out of this guy's way in time. Alright, overtake on the outside. This game also has a pretty energetic narrator. Kind of cheers you on and coaches you as you play the game. In time trial mode, he is a lot more aggressive than this. If you do fail a split, if you fall behind at any point, he will say something along the lines of, "My grandma can drive faster than this." Along with a few other humorous voice lines that you would sort of expect from a racing game such as this. And that was that. Each lap is about 30 seconds long, aside from the first one. And now we're moving on to a track called Heaven and Hell, which is one of my least favorite courses in the entire game. This course is a lot less forgiving than the previous ones, that's for sure. Alright, nailed the boost ride. We don't need a boost ride here. I said boost ride start, but no, that's a acceleration glitch. Ooh, that was close. I almost hit the wall there. We'll get out of the way in time. Another thing I love about R4 is its soundtrack. This game features original music tracks that all fit the theme of the game very well, and are all very enjoyable to listen to. It never really gets old, no matter how many times you hear it. It always never fails to get you pumped up during a good run. But yeah, if you have time for donations, You can read a few now if you'd like. Alright, we're now approaching the final lap. Race has gone pretty well so far. I love the jump corners that you do. Where your car just flies into the air and you gotta react accordingly once you hit the ground. I turned in a bit too late, unfortunately. Small mistake. Didn't lose too much time from that. All right. That was that. Yeah, this course was called Brightest Night. The next one coming up is Heaven and Hell. That track was fun. This one, oh boy. It's a cool track, I'll give it that. I love how it's designed. But it is definitely prone. You can easily make mistakes on it. Like I said, it's one of the more unforgiving tracks. This track is also a continuation of the second one we raced, called Wonder Hill. But this time we're seeing a different part of it. We're going around the backside here. Alright, that guy's in a good spot. We can get around him pretty easily here. Okay, that was close. Oh hey, he gave me a boost. That was quite nice of him. Yeah, that corner I did right there it's one of my favorite corners on this course because of the jump right after it. So much fun. So suspenseful. Alright, we're entering the final lap here. Heaven and Hell. Coming up next, we have a track called Shooting Hoops, which has nothing to do with basketball, surprisingly. We're racing around in a supercar of some sort that has 7 gears. And we can go close to 200 miles per hour with it. It's a lot of fun. And the track is simple, too. You can always keep your top speed on it, which I will demonstrate as soon as I get to it. Alright, that was that. Gonna be unlocking the car pretty soon here. Hopefully we get good luck and are fortunate with the menus coming up. Yes, okay. Got the early cycle there. This track also features one of my favorite songs in R4. Oh no, I stalled the car. That's alright though. Even though I missed the acceleration glitch, I can build up speed quickly in this car. Hitting over 200 miles per hour. Gotta be careful to avoid the AI cars, especially since their cycles are a bit off due to that small mistake in at the very start of the race. Getting 28, mid 28s here. Pretty good for shooting hoops. As we approach the end of R4, I hope everybody enjoyed this run. This game is one of my favorite games for the PlayStation. It's very fun. I'd recommend checking it out if you enjoy racing games. And if you want to try out the Ultra Racer for yourself, it is pretty easy to find online. The speedrun for this game too is also cool to learn. Ninja has a really informative guide on how to drive optimally in this game, and I would suggest checking that out. He gives a lot of good tips for it and why certain cars are better to use than others and all of that. Ninja was definitely a big help when I first learned this game here. Alright, time's coming up in about 5 seconds. Time. That was a 28:23. That's pretty good for a marathon run, dang. Even with the mistakes I made along the way, that's definitely a very good time. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I hope everybody had a good time watching. And I hope to run this at the marathon in August, or July. August, what am I thinking? But yeah, thanks guys.